So we'll see the next concept, average speed. So average speed is an important concept in which they ask questions in the exam. So we'll see a classic example. So the question is, the distance between the points A and B is 120 kilometer. A person travels from A to B at the speed of 60 kilometer per hour. On the next day, he returns from B to A at the speed of 40 kilometer per hour. What is his average speed? So here, the person covers 120 kilometer. So when he is traveling from A to B with the speed 60 kilometer per hour, so the same distance from B to A, he is taking the speed 40 kilometer per hour. So you are asked to find his average speed. So we'll see how to find the average speed. So the person travels from A to B. So distance between A and B is 120 kilometers. So from A to B, when he is traveling, he takes the speed 60 kilometers per hour. So the next day, from B to A he travels, that is, he covers the same distance with different speed. So you are asked to find the average speed taken. So when average speed is asked, so many do that. So they find average of the given speeds. So that is adding 60 and 40. So you get 100 by 250. So they give average as average of the taken speeds, but that is wrong. So whenever average speed is asked, so please remember that it is not the average of speeds taken. So don't take average of the given speed. So but you have to calculate I'll tell you how to calculate the average speed. So when average speed is asked, so don't find average of this given speed. So when you find the average, you will get 50, but 50 is not the answer. So whenever average speed is asked, it is total distance covered by total time taken. So when speed is asked, it is distance by time, and when average speed is asked, it is the total distance covered divided by total time taken, but it is not the average of the speeds taken. So average speed we calculate by adding all the distance, that is the total distance, by total time taken. So how to calculate the average speed using this concept? So what is the total distance covered? So the first day he covers 120 kilometer with speed 60. The second day also he covers the same distance. So total distance will be 120 plus 120, which is equal to 240. So this is the total distance, and when dividing by the time taken, so don't add the averages and write in the denominator. So don't write 60 plus 40, or don't divide by the speed, but you have to find the time taken. So time taken when he moves from A to B, so time is distance by speed. So he covers this 120 kilometer with speed 60 kilometers per hour. So time taken is 2 hours. So from A to B, time taken is 2 hours. And now time taken from B to A. So distance is 120 kilometer and speed is 40. So dividing this distance 120 by 40, you get it is 3 hours. So here time taken from A to B is 2 hours and time taken from B to A is 3 hours. So total time is 2 plus 3, 5 hours. So average speed is total distance 240 and total time taken is 5. So whenever average speed is asked, so don't find average of the given speeds, that is adding this and dividing by 2 you get 50, which is a wrong answer. So in a haste, students think that this is average of the average speeds taken. So don't find average of the given speed, but find the total distance covered, divide by total time taken. And also remember that don't write the speed in the denominator. You have to find the time taken only. So add all the time taken, you get the total time, that is 2 plus 3, 5. So dividing this, you get average speed is 48 km per hour. So average speed is not 50, but it is 48 km per hour. Here we have calculated the total distance, dividing by the total time, we get average speed as 48 km per hour. So please note that don't find average for the given speeds, but average speed is total distance by total time taken. Suppose in this question, say it is given that just this distance is not given. A person from A to B takes the speed 60, and from B to A he takes the speed 40. So here distance is same. So in this question, whenever the distance is not given also, you can work out. So I'll give you a shortcut to find the average speed whenever the distance covered is same. So when a person covers same distance with different speed, you can calculate the average speed by, so 2s1 s2 by s1 plus s2. Here s1 and s2 are the two different speeds taken by a person to cover the same distance. So this average speed is calculated using 2s1 s2 by s1 plus s2 whenever distance covered is same. So note that. So you can find the average speed without doing all these calculations whenever the distance is same by using 2s1 s2 by s1 plus s2. So we'll see how to find average speed using this shortcut when the distance is same. So here we'll take s1 as 60 and s2 as 40 by s1 plus s2. So 60 plus 40 is 100. So after simplifying this, you get 48 km per hour. So we have got the average speed instead of finding the total distance and dividing by total time, just by using the shortcut 2s1 s2 by s1 plus s2. And remember that you have to use this only when the distance covered is same with different speeds. Say suppose so the person is traveling for 4 hours with speed 60 km per hour, and for another 4 hours he is traveling with the speed 40 km per hour. So then what will be the average speed taken? So we have the detail, instead of distance they have given speed and time. So to calculate the average speed here, so always remember that numerator will be the total distance and denominator will be the total time taken. So first he is traveling for 4 hours, and then again he is traveling for 4 hours. So total time taken is 4 plus 4. And in the numerator you should have the distance, but distance is not given. So how you will calculate the distance when speed and time are given? So multiplying the time with speed, distance is got. Speed into time, and the second part of the distance by speed into time. So now instead of multiplying and then dividing by 8, so you can take this 4 common. So by 8. So here we have got 60 plus 40 by 2. So when average speed is asked, so average speed is not average of the speeds taken, but whenever a person with covers with, so whenever a person moves with different speeds for the same time, just by finding the average of the given speed, you get the average speed. So here for the first 4 hours he travels with 60 km per hour, and the next 4 hours, that is in the same time, he is covering with 40 kilometers per hour. So in this case, you can find average of the speed taken. But remember that it is not for other cases. So whenever distance is same, you have to use 2 S1 S2 by S1 plus S2 to find the average speed. If the distance is not same, you have to find total distance by total time taken. Don't find average of the given speed. But whenever he travels for same time with different speeds, so average speed is got by average of the speeds taken. So this has to be done only when time taken is same. So here, as time taken is same, we can find average for the given speed. So 60 plus 40, 100 by 2, 50 is the average speed. So average speed is one of the important concepts. So please understand, when you are asked to find the average speed, don't find average of the given speeds, but find the total distance divided by the total time taken. So whenever the distance is same, no need to consider the distance if it is not given, or if it is given also. So don't consider the distance, find the average speed by using 2 S1 S2 by S1 plus S2. And whenever time travelled is same, just you can find the average. So simply instead of finding the total distance and total time. So here, just to recapitulate the concept, average speed is not equal to the average of speeds taken, but average speed is always total distance by total time taken. So when you are asked to find the average speed, so don't take the average of speeds taken, but find the total distance covered and divide by total time taken. So but whenever the distance covered is same, so when the distance is given also, no need to use that. So you can find the average speed just by using 2 S1 S2 by S1 plus S2, and whenever time taken is same, so then you can find the average of the given speed. So but normally average speed is not the speeds taken, average of speeds taken, but whenever time taken is same, you can find the average of the given speeds. And the working here is, so to find the average speed, so don't find the average of the given speeds, but total distance is calculated by total time taken. Here total distance is, so both ways he covers the same distance. So total distance 120 plus 120, it is 240, and time taken, we can calculate distance dividing by speed as 2 hours and 3 hours. So total time taken is 5 hours. So 240 by 5, it is equal to 48 km per hour. So but here, as the distance is same, instead of finding all this, so just average speed is 2 S1 S2 by S1 plus S2, which is equal to 48 km per hour. So friends, they give the average speed like giving a part of a distance also, and we'll see how to work out that type of question. So we'll see the next example. A person covers 1/3 of the distance with speed 50 km per hour and the remaining with speed 40 km per hour. What is the average speed? So in this question, they have not given the distance at all, but part of a distance is given, that is 1/3 of the distance with speed 50, and the remaining, that is the remaining is 2/3 of the distance with speed 40. So when you are working like part of a distance, so easier method is don't take 1/3 and all, take the denominator as the total distance. Here 1/3 of the distance and the remaining is 2/3. So assume that the total distance is 3 kilometers and working will become easier. So we'll see the working now. So the person covers, so 1/3 of the distance with speed 50 kilometers per hour, and the remaining distance is 2/3 of the distance with speed 40 kilometers per hour. So in this case, instead of taking, for this question, instead of taking 1/3 and 2/3, we'll assume that the denominator, that is here 3, is the total distance. So assumed distance, assume total distance equal to 3 kilometers. So when total distance is 3 kilometers, 1/3 of the distance will be equal to 1 kilometer and 2/3 will be equal to 2 kilometers. So where the working here becomes easier. And we have seen that average speed is total distance by total time. So to calculate the average speed, so total distance we have assumed as 3 kilometers, so it will be 3 in the numerator. The denominator we need the total time. So total time here will be, so 1/3 of the distance, that is 1 kilometer, he covers with speed 50. So time taken is calculated by distance by speed. Distance here is 1 kilometer, speed is 50 kilometers per hour. And time taken to cover 2/3 of the distance, that is for 2 kilometers. Distance is 2 kilometers and speed taken is 40 kilometers per hour. So by simplifying this, we get the average speed. So you can simplify this also. So taking LCM for this denominator part, so here it is 100. So sending this 100 to the numerator. So average speed is 300 by 7, or divide this 300 by 7 it is. So average speed taken is 42.6 by 7 kilometers per hour. So here the working is, when part of the distance is given, assume that the denominator will be the total distance. Here it is given as 1/3. So we assume that total distance is 3 kilometers. So in some questions they will give 1/3 of the distance, 4/5 of the distance. So when you have more than one fraction where you have different denominators, then find LCM as the total distance and proceed. So in this question you have only one fraction where the denominators are same. So we assume that total distance is the denominator, that is 3 kilometers, and then we can calculate the average speed by total distance and time taken. So total distance is 3 kilometers, and by calculating all this we get the average speed 42.6 by 7 kilometers per hour. And in some questions part of a distance will be given in percentage also. So we will see an example how to work out that type of questions. So the question is, a train covers 40% of the distance with speed 40 kilometers per hour and 50% of the distance with 50 kilometers per hour and the remaining with speed 20 kilometers per hour. Find the average speed. So in this question, so distance, exact distance is not given, but percentage of the distance is given. So whenever percentage of the distance is given, you assume that 100 is the total distance covered. When part of the distance was given, we assume the LCM, or when you have only one fraction, assume the denominator as the total distance. Here it is given in percentage. So this question was previously asked in insurance exam. So this is a previous exam question. So there distance was given in percentage. So assume that 100 is the total distance, and we will see how to find the average speed for this question. So as it is given in percentage, we assume that total distance is 100 kilometers. So to find the average speed, so it is total distance by total time taken. So total distance we have assumed as 100. So total distance take as 100. And they have given that 40% of the distance is covered with speed 40. So as we have taken the distance as 100 kilometer, 40% of 100 distance will be 40 kilometers. So to find the time distance by speed, so distance is 40, speed is also 40. And next 50% of the distance is covered with 50 kilometers per hour. So 50% of 100 is 50, so distance is 50 and speed is also 50. So for time distance by speed, distance is 50 kilometers and speed is 50 kilometers per hour. And the remaining distance, so in this 100, 40%, 50% is 40 and 50. So when you subtract 40, 50 from 100, the remaining is 10 kilometers. So this remaining distance is covered with speed 20 kilometers per hour. So now by working this out, you get the average speed. So whenever it is given in percentage, you assume that total distance is 100 and working becomes simple. So total distance 100. So 40 by 40 it is 1 plus 1 and half. So adding all this you get 5 by 2, which is equal to 100 into 2 by 5. So here distance was given in percentage. So we assume that total distance as 100 and we have worked out. So when you assume value, when percentage is given, when you assume 100 as the distance, so you can easily work out, and working out you get the average speed as 40 kilometers per hour. So when the distance is given, the percentage is assumed that as the total distance. Here assume that 100 is the total distance, 100 kilometers is the total distance. So total distance by time taken. So finding the time taken, we have 100 by 5 by 2, which is equal to 40. So as percentage is given, assuming that 100 as the total distance, we have arrived at the average speed 40 kilometers per hour. The working becomes simple. So we'll see the next concept.